Welcome to the brand new episode of You Diary. One of the most important vital organ in our body are kidneys. They are considered as a sophisticated reprocessing machines which cleanse the toxins out of our body. To discuss further on this topic, we have with us Dr. Suraj, consultant nephrologist, Renai Medicity, Cochin. Welcome, Doctor, to our show. Doctor, we started with the functions of kidneys. Can you further elaborate on this?
As we all know, a normal human has got two kidneys. They are situated in the abdomen behind the intestines. It's called as a retroperitoneal area. So like you said, kidneys are usually considered to be glorified reprocessing machines. But however, they have got many more functions than the reprocessing. Like we all know, the urine is produced by the kidneys and it washes out a lot of waste materials and toxins from our body. In addition to production of urine, there are many more endocrine functions like formation of vitamin D3 and regulation of the health of the bones and the homeostasis of our body. In addition, kidney produces a hormone known as erythropoietin. So erythropoietin is the hormone that matures the young RBCs into mature RBCs. So without erythropoietin, there will be a fall in the hemoglobin levels in our body. In addition to that, the kidneys take care of what is known as the acid-base balance of our body. There is a constant pH in which the body functions, that is, it is about 7.4. So kidneys along with the lungs play a very vital part in controlling these. So unlike the public misconception of sophisticated reprocessing machines, kidneys do much more functions which are not usually acknowledged.
So overall, you mean to say that it is very important for the total well-being of the body. Okay.
So kidney is an all-rounder. It is
yes,
not a
exactly.
bowler or a batsman.
It is just like heart and liver and all. It is a very important vital organ. Okay. So doctor, now we'll directly go to the queries. This is the first query.
Hello doctor, my name is Varsharaj and I am from SVN Makara. My question is, what are the symptoms of kidney diseases?
Kidney disease has got a number of symptoms. The commonest symptoms are you will have leg swelling. So this is known as pedal edema. Some people will have periorbital puffiness, that is puffiness around the eyes. So this is periorbital puffiness. So in addition to that, there may be a reduction in the urine output in some diseases, not all. Because there is a common misconception that in all kidney diseases the urine output will be less. That is not true. Only in some types of kidney disease you will have a reduction in the urine output. In other diseases you can have a normal output. In fact, in some other diseases you will have plenty of urine output. Sometimes even 3-4 times you may pass urine at night. The other symptoms are, like I said earlier, they produce erythropoietin, so they will have anemia, that is increased tiredness. So when they walk, they will have increased fatigability. The appetite will be less, they don't feel like eating food. And when the kidney disease worsens, then their bone health will worsen, they can have fractures, then they will feel very tired, then they will get breathlessness because the acid-base imbalance will go haywire. And in fact, towards the terminal stage, when you need to require dialysis, you will be very weak, you will feel very much tired, so sometimes you won't be able to get up from the bed also. But the other side of the coin is that the kidney's functional capacity is so huge. So sometimes only when you get about 80 to 90% of damage, you will get symptoms. And sometimes when you have symptoms and when you go to the doctor, it may be too late.
Okay. Doctor, in between you talked about dialysis. What is dialysis?
Yeah, dialysis is a kind of kidney support. So it replaces the kidney function. That is, it is known as a renal replacement therapy. So it is not a cure. So what we do in dialysis is we replace some functions of the kidney which has got damaged, like removal of the waste materials and removal of the excess fluid in our body. Dialysis cannot take care of your calcium phosphorus metabolism or the renal anemia part. So there are basically two different types of dialysis. One is called hemodialysis and the other is called peritoneal dialysis. So hemo means blood, hemodialysis in which you take out the blood from the body, run it through a dialysis machine, remove all the impurities and excess water in the body, and then give back the same blood into the patient's body. So this is usually done in hospitals. So when you have a maintenance dialysis, you come for the dialysis every couple of days or twice or thrice a week. So each dialysis session will be about 4 hours. So in this 4 hours, the blood will be purified numerous times and given back to the body. Nowadays, that home dialysis is coming up. Then there is what is known as a CAPD or continuous ambulatory peritoneal dialysis. So this is more physiological in the sense that we use the peritoneal membrane which is present inside the abdominal cavity as a conduit for dialysis. So what we do in this case is we put a catheter into the abdomen, infuse a specific fluid into the abdomen and remove the fluid after a specified period of time. So this is done at home, and the patient has to come for work only once, come to the doctor only once a month or so.
So you mean to say that peritoneal dialysis are easy to do and have a better, are better when compared to hemodialysis?
No, that is not true. Peritoneal dialysis, the advantage is...
No, how do you actually differentiate? I mean, which patient should go for hemodialysis or which patient should go for peritoneal dialysis? How do you describe that?
Okay, that is basically the patient's choice. See, if they are living close by to the hospital and if they don't mind coming to the hospital twice or thrice a week and spend 4 hours along with the other patients in the dialysis room, then hemodialysis is ideal because you only have to do it twice or thrice a week.
Okay.
The problems with the hemodialysis is you have to come to the hospital, again travel, especially in cities like Ernakulam, which is getting congested daily. Coming to the hospital may be an issue in the future. And the other thing is you will have to have pricks, means you have an AV fistula and thrice a week you have to suffer the cannulation. But the advantage is that you are coming to the hospital thrice a week, so even if you have a small problem, you will be able to deal with the doctors and tell your problems to the staff there. So you will be getting much more medical attention than peritoneal dialysis.
Okay doctor, let's go to the second question.
Hi doctor, my name is Prabhendu R. I am from Saraswati Vidyaniketan, and my question is, what are the tests to know if a person is affected from kidney disease?
There are 3 main tests to rule out a kidney disease. They are very simple. So in the blood we have urea and creatinine, and in the urine you have got a urine routine. So if your urea and creatinine is fine and urine routine is perfectly normal, then you don't have to worry about a functional kidney disease, provided your kidneys are structurally fine. The other test which you do to, then the common question is, what is this creatinine, what is the importance of this creatinine? So creatinine is a breakdown product of muscle metabolism in our body. So to put it short, like the waste which are usually generated in our house, every day we generate creatinine in our body, and this creatinine is usually removed by the kidneys. So if the waste wala don't come to our house for 1 or 2 days, the waste will get accumulated in our body. So like that, if the kidneys are not working properly or if the function of the kidneys is less, the creatinine along with the other toxins is also gets accumulated in the body. Why we look for creatinine is because creatinine is easy to measure when compared to the numerous other toxins. So once your kidneys get affected, the amount of creatinine will start slowly accumulating in the body, and in proportionate to the worsening of the renal function, the amount of creatinine will slowly start to mount. The other test, like I said earlier, is urine routine. It is very inexpensive, it is very cheap, it is available in almost all the labs. The other test that we usually do to determine is ultrasound of the abdomen. That is also usually available all around. It is also not very expensive, and it can show you how your kidneys are, what's the size of your kidneys, whether you have any structural abnormality like any cysts or if there is any stones, etc. in the kidney. Sometimes when there is a urinary abnormality and if your ultrasound is perfectly normal, then we will proceed into further investigations like a 24-hour urine protein, especially if there is a proteinuria, to assess how much protein the patient has. Sometimes if there may be presence of blood in the urine. So if that is the case, then we will have to do something known as a renal biopsy. So usually when you say biopsy, people will think, oh, this is something like a cancer and it is some sort of a very serious matter. But the contradictory fact is, in case of renal cancer, usually you don't do a biopsy. So it is usually contraindicated, and only in very select conditions you do a biopsy in case of a renal cancer. Yeah, chance of spillage. So why we do a biopsy in a renal disease is to find out what is the microscopic abnormality that the patient has, what's the extent of the abnormality, what is the severity of the abnormality, and what is the chance of cure. So nowadays renal biopsy is very safe. So what I do is an ultrasound guided renal biopsy. So it is very safe. If the patient is very cooperative, it takes only a couple of minutes and the patient can go back on the same day. So you don't need to worry about a renal biopsy nowadays. Then there are other tests like DTPA, renogram, CT scan, MRI scan, etc. So that is not usually done routinely. So it is on a case by case basis.
Doctor, you were telling about the 24-hour urine protein test, isn't it? Don't you think it's very cumbersome to do that? And do you have any other alternatives like protein creatinine ratio test, and how significant is it?
Yeah, sure. Like you said, 24-hour urine protein is very cumbersome because you have to carry the cannas or the container around with you for one full day.
Patient will be walking
with the can all around, and you have to put whatever urine you pass into the can. So that is, means it is very uncomfortable. So another alternative is what you said is a protein creatinine ratio. But the problem with protein creatinine ratio is, though it is considered to be almost equal to 24-hour urine protein, so it is not totally so. So still 24-hour urine protein is the gold standard. So if you want to monitor, you can go for a protein creatinine ratio, and if you want to establish the fact, it is better to go for a 24-hour urine protein. And in cases of people who have difficulty in going for a 24-hour urine protein, like small children who cannot collect their urine, for them protein creatinine ratio is much better.
Okay, doctor, now let's go to the next question.
Hello doctor, my name is Praveen. I am from SVN. My question is, what is renal transplantation?
So like I said earlier, so renal transplantation is a type of renal replacement therapy. So we are replacing the function of the damaged kidney. So renal transplantation is the ideal renal replacement therapy because we are putting a new kidney which takes care of the functions. So what the usual misconception is that you remove one kidney and put in the new kidney, that is kidney maati vekkal. So that is the term used in Malayalam, but that is a misnomer because we don't usually remove the native kidney unless there are specific indications like a big kidney, like a polycystic kidney disease, or a very much infected kidney, or a long-standing obstruction with an infection. So in all the other cases, what we do is we take a donor kidney, that is remove the kidney from somebody who is willingly donated, and put the kidney into the abdomen. It may be in the right side or the left side. It is commonly put in the right side. So renal transplantation is the best form of treatment for an end-stage kidney disease, because if you look at the survival, in case of dialysis, the 5-year survival will be around 40 to 50% in the usual type. If it is a very good dialysis, you may get up to 60% survival. Whereas in case of a renal transplantation, the 5-year survival is about 90%, and the 10-year survival is about 70% in case of a renal transplantation, whereas it is only 30% in case of a dialysis. So the long-term survival is much more in case of a kidney transplantation than in case of a dialysis. So if you want to donate a kidney, or if you want to get a kidney from somebody, so you call them the donor, and the person who receives the kidney is the recipient. The donor has to undergo numerous tests. There are about 30-40 tests for the donor to undergo, and we have to make sure that the donor is fit for undergoing the surgery and that they won't be having any future problems. There are data for about 50 to 60 years, and it has been found that donor does not have any further risks of kidney injury, provided the tests have been done and the patient has been validated. And after transplantation, you have to take medicines for lifelong, and the intensity of medicines will come down, and you have to undergo regular monitoring. But you are like an active man, except the fact that you have an extra kidney in your body, and you can go for sports, you can go for running, you can go for swimming, you can go for your routine activities, and you will be doing much more better than in a patient with dialysis. So that's why transplantation is the preferred mode.
Doctor, you were talking about donors. Who all are the ideal donors? In the sense, who can donate kidneys? And is it necessary that they should be blood related, or any random healthy person can donate kidneys? How is it actually?
As per Indian law, there are 3 types of donors. So one is live related, the other one is live unrelated, and the third is a cadaver donor. So as per the Indian law, all these are defined by laws. So as per the HOTA, that's Human Organ Transplantation Act. So we are very strict about these laws. So the related donor means your immediate family, that is your father, mother, your siblings, brothers, sisters, then wife, considered to be an emotionally attached. So they also come into the emotionally related. Then nowadays it has been slightly widened to involve your grandchildren. Children also are considered to be related. All the above, all the other people who are not included in the related group fall as unrelated. So even if you have an uncle or aunt who wants to donate to you, they will fall under the unrelated category. And the third is cadaver donor. So cadaver means some person who has had a severe head injury, like an accident, or somebody who has had a massive intracranial bleed, whom the medical science think is not likely to have a normal mental status and who won't mentally recover, only their heart will beat and maintain. So those patients can be considered as a cadaver donor. But there also rules are very strict. They have to be certified by numerous doctors and numerous tests have to be done before they can be legally certified as a cadaver. So related transplant has got better survival when compared to unrelated transplant. But nowadays with better medicines, even unrelated and cadaver, they are also doing well. So the success of related transplant is because you have a chromosomal match. So like you said, so because of the match, their chances of rejection is very less. So after transplantation, so you will have to take medicines for lifelong. So nowadays you have this Kerala network of organ sharing or Mrida Sanjeevani. So we would have all read about that in the paper. So this is an organization by the Kerala government. So they did not want to waste organs from multiple, because one person can give 2 eyes, 2 kidneys, a heart, 2 lungs, liver, intestines. Yeah, they can save at least 10 to 15 people. So if they are willing to donate. So instead of like you say, ashes to ashes, dust to dust. So instead of wasting all these organs, so government thought, why not we have an initiative to save lives of many people, and it has taken off in a big way. So if somebody is willing to donate, then they will contact this KNOS and they will make necessary arrangements and they will do the matching and they will allot. It is a very transparent process, and so far there has not been any controversies regarding that.
Okay, doctor. Now let's go to the next question.
Hello, sir. My name is Advait Ashu. I'm from Saraswati Vidyaniketan. I would like to ask you a question. That is, how can we prevent the development of kidney diseases?
So like they say, so prevention is better than cure. Basically nowadays lifestyle has changed so much. So earlier we used to have healthy food. So nowadays food pattern has changed. So we are maybe you can say aping the West, because we are having more and more fried food, we are more meat eaters, and all these have taken toll on many organs, and the kidneys are also one of the organs which has taken a toll. In addition to that, nowadays the obesity, it is considered to be an epidemic, because the incidence of obesity is increasing, especially among school children and smaller children. So what they have found out that in obesity, the amount of fat in the abdomen increases. So they also compress upon the kidney and causes some changes in the kidneys. So that also is considered to be one of the causes of kidney diseases now. In addition, diabetes is to a very large extent due to the lifestyle issues. So when you have an excess of weight, the pancreas is unable to contain that weight and it is unable to produce an excess of insulin. So they have a chance of developing diabetes at an early age. So studies have found that when you reduce the weight, so the chances of kidney diseases also come down in obesity. So in addition to that, a large amount of meat has been shown to cause an increase in the uric acid. So this causes what is known as hyperuricemia. So this can deposit in the kidneys and lead to a large amount of kidney stones, and it can also cause renal failure. Then those who work in the hot sun, those who take plenty of alcohol, those who drink plenty of beer, plenty of meat, so they have a chance of developing an increased number of stones. And stones have been found to be one of the causing factors of kidney disease. So in addition, nowadays we take large number of medicines, even native medicines, allopathic medicines, homeopathic medicines, medicines like painkillers, like NSAIDs. So they have a very high chance of going into renal failure, especially taken for years together. So a lot of people do that for knee joint pain, headache, etc. without consulting others. So like I said earlier, so diabetes mellitus is caused to a very large extent by obesity, especially type 2 diabetes mellitus. So when you reduce the weight, the amount of abdominal fat comes down and the amount of insulin resistance comes down. So all this will lead to improving your kidney function and will help in long and lasting kidney. So basically, so the mantra for prevention is eat what you don't like, drink what you don't like, and do what you don't better do.
Thank you, doctor. It's time to wind up the show. All further queries will be answered at udiary@rosebowl@gmail.com. See you in the next episode. Till then, keep focused, stay healthy.